Hello, foodies, and welcome back to Foot in Review, powered by FUTcoaching.com. We are the currently 2 weekly podcasts bringing you the latest thing about FIFA Ultimate Team. And of course, all made possible by you, our listeners, viewers, and of course, our Patreon supporters. So go check out patreon.com/footinreview to see the amazing benefits we can bring you for a little bit of a donation. It's about £1 or euro a week, so go check it out. And of course, a special shout out to our Skybox owners, Reese, Amar, Daniel, and Archon, because they support us on the maximum tier. They get a free coaching session every single month, and of course, this special shout out. Tonight, we'll be talking all about Chiellini, why you should play FIFA in the summer, and of course, a very special foot coaching announcement. My name is John, and joining me today is the man coming to you in glorious 480p resolution. It's none other than Ryan Hampton.
Hey, it's good to be back on again. And yeah, if you're watching it on the video, I'm sure you can count every single pixel on the screen. But here I am, almost HD. It's probably a good thing that not all our viewers can see my face. So,
well, they
hope
can
you enjoy
actually.
what you can see. Yeah, but not well.
No, it's not too bad. It's just we have a big contrast between the cameras. I think that's the issue here. But it's all right. It feels like we did this show last week, but we actually did this show last week. We already recorded a special Patreon announcement video where we only talked about that one topic, which we'll keep till later part of this episode. But Ryan, it's been a while, and there's been Team of the Season. And who better to ask why you should be playing FIFA after the summer than a pro player in FIFA? So let's start with that. Why, Ryan? And I want to ask this specifically because there's a lot of people actually quitting, saying this game isn't fun anymore. Everyone has gold squads now. What's the point? I hear that a lot. Or you can't even break down an opponent. Stuff. I also get it, right? We talked about it this Friday. Not every single game is fun at the moment. We do need some fun. Little bit of perspective. I went 6-0 in Weekend League after playing 15 matches, but everyone quit. So I left it at 6-0 because I just ran out of time. I couldn't play anymore. Could have been a wonderful, maybe 11 wins or something like that, but now I ended at 6. So that definitely wasn't fun. But Ryan, should people, I would say why should people, but should people still be playing FIFA at this time of year?
That's a scary question. Feels like a trick question as well. I'm going to get hated no matter what. But I don't see why you should stop. I mean, I think this personally is the time of the year to sit and really enjoy it. I don't feel like that you necessarily have anything to lose anymore. Not that you necessarily have anything to lose throughout the year.
Anyways, no.
This is certainly the time where, you know, you can just play with the players that you're enjoying. You don't have to play the meta. You can play your way. I personally think this is a great time to start playing the game and, you know, just enjoy it for what it is. I've seen a lot of people over the weekend saying how toxic it is and how the community seems to have gotten worse with some of the people dropping off. But I certainly think this is a prime time to play, and there's a number of reasons as well, but I want to see what you have to say first before I go over any.
Yeah, so I had this chat on the Patreon, on our Discord this Saturday night as well. People were being fed up with it. I do think you have to put some perspective in your results. Let's put that first. People are dropping off. If you're on a console like Xbox, that feels even harder than before, right? Because it's already the less played console this year for FIFA at least. So the people that are now remaining are the people that either are diehard on playing, it's part of the game, or they really like the game and just love to play it a lot. But the real casual players, they're gone, right? They might be on holidays and stuff. Which means if you used to get 14 wins as your max, the chances that you actually face a very bad player or an easy opponent, let's put it like that, I like that a little bit more, that you face an easy opponent during your run up there is actually far slimmer now. So the chance you get 14 wins, even if you performed better, is actually less. So I would say necessarily don't focus too much on the end result in mind, because it's going to get harder to get elite division. It's going to get harder to get your 14 or 17 wins in, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean the game is gotten worse or you have gotten worse. I think that it's just a little bit of perspective. If the top X% just keeps playing and the rest drops off, it's going to be harder to stay in that top X%, period.
Yeah, but that's the perspective you're talking about, that people are still playing this game expecting results when, everyone has these God squads and you don't need results to have them anymore. So this is actually a great time to just enjoy the game. Actually just enjoy it for what it should be and not necessarily make it competitive, because it's been like that all year and it's exhausting when it's like that every single day, probably, when you're playing rivals all the time and then you're playing FUT champs and you've got people leaving it 0-0, and even that can be exhausting if that's happening all the time. So this is prime time, first of all, to enjoy it. Go get your favourite players, make your favourite team, make your favourite formation. Don't follow the meta anymore, because you've been doing that all year, and that's probably exhausting as well, trying to see the latest trends and following that. And if you start caring about your results at this time of the year, you're probably going to be burnt out by the time the next game comes out. So that's it from a more casual perspective, I would say.
I think that's a good segue, though, because if you're burned out by results now, right? Or if you're focused on results, you say you're going to be burned out before the next game hit.
Yeah.
I think when I look at our mailbox from FUTcoaching this morning, there's many people just texting, hey, I'm just going to quit, else I'll burn out before the end of the season, before the new games hit. Is that purely because they are focused on the performances, or should they just quit anyways right now?
I think it's performance-based, We're meant to be playing these games for fun, but you turn out every time you're playing it actually trying to do it someone else's way. And when you're doing it like that, it can take a lot of the fun out of it, because I think it's maybe not necessarily what you're good at, it's maybe not necessarily what you enjoy, and therefore you're not playing it for enjoyment, you're playing it purely for results. And that in itself feels like a grind that, for what you get out of it, isn't worth it. And that, I believe, is where the burnout starts. If you're doing something for a reason that you're not getting that reason back, it starts to feel like it's worthless. So you're almost playing it for the wrong reasons at that point.
Well, not almost. I think that just hits it home, right? That is the exact point what I'm talking about. I posted my team last week with a couple of Juventus players, and I'm looking into building the Juventus main squad now, finally, since we got Chiellini SBC and the Piero. And I was missing, of course, the striker and the defender. Guess what? I packed Dybala, and guess what? Yesterday we finally got the defender I wanted. So I'm almost there. Just need a little bit more coins or / gold players to put into upgrade SBCs. But I think I'm almost there. I should be there in a week or two, I think. And I'm fine with that. People are like, yeah, but that's not viable anymore. No, of course I'm not going to get 20 wins when I'm trying to go into Weekend League with Trezeguet up front, right? But that's not the point why I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to show you can still have fun if you just build your team and go for that. And I think that performance-based mentality is so baked into the people that play FIFA that there's actually no space left anymore to take a step back and say, you know what, I'm just going to have fun. I'm just going to enjoy this moment. And you can see that in all formations that we've been playing. I think people play either 3-5-2 or 4-2-3-1. When you go into weekly, can get a little bit higher up. That's it, right? No space for creativity. And you can't honestly tell me those people are very much enjoying themselves.
No. If it's always that fear of missing out on that big player that can change your team, but at this point of the year, you could probably go buy that player that will change your team for like 50k. So if you get one win or you get 19 wins, it doesn't really matter anymore. The chances are there isn't a lot of players that would change your team now anyway. So the performances are the least important now than they've been all year. So don't worry about that. You don't need to worry about the results anymore. Worry about having fun.
I agree.
It's summer.
That's also true. I wouldn't say let's look at the color of my skin, but that's just because I changed the lighting. I'm not much more tan than you are, honestly, but nobody sees it.
I was going to say, if you look at the colour of my skin, you wouldn't realise it was the summer.
I wanted to make that joke, but I couldn't get.
I live in Scotland, though, so this is our summer.
Scottish summers, I've noticed that. Yeah, but are there any other reasons why people should? Let's put it like that. Why should people still play FIFA now? Do you have fun to enjoy it? Sure.
Yeah.
Is there more?
Absolutely. I think you can flip the coin because that's the casual perspective of why you should play it for fun reasons. I think the other side of the coin is that if you keep playing that game and you apply the right mentality and, I guess, planning to the game now and do it right, don't necessarily focus on results, focus on the process. Going into the next game, or at least after the summer, you're going to be well ahead of other people who are currently at the same level as you now. If you think about it at the start of each game, and everybody takes a break in between then, you're starting at the level of, 40% of the player base. You're all at the same level, and anything can decide a game at that level. And as the game goes on, you're all picking up the meta, you're all picking up what works, what doesn't, and eventually, when you start improving, so does the other 40% because they've put in just as much effort as you at that time. And basically, between the start of the year and the end of the year, the same 40% are there. Maybe give or take, some players because not everyone's going to be there. But ultimately, you're going to be at the same level as everyone else because you're following the same procedure and structure that they're following, and you're doing it at the same pace. So now, actually, when everybody's starting to drop off, this could be the time where if you pick up the right sort of techniques, what you should work on, maybe look at your own game, this is where you can overtake everyone. And when you come back to FIFA 23, you're already ahead of the crowd and setting the pace so that when you're getting better during the year, you're still better than everyone else. I think that's a big thing. That's a huge thing for that. Consistency, you're building that up as well. And that the consistency is probably one of the single most biggest factors in this game.
Yeah, and I think that is perfectly said. Also from a coaching perspective where we're at, right? People that run the foot coaching programs right now, so the several sessions, this sounds like a marketing thing, but it actually is not. But I do think it's a good thing. The people that are, the people that are now focusing on improving, maybe not see that directly in getting better results currently, but because they are actually improving against those better players which are currently playing, the moment the new game starts and they're still in that same flow and they got that all in their toolbox, they actually will be overleaping the results which they normally would get. That's why I spend my summers, for example. I did this last year. I do this actually almost every year by playing a formation which I really don't like. I really don't like the 4-2-3-1, for example. I just don't like playing it. I hate it. It's still, but it's good to have in your tool kit, I think. And something I'm very bad in myself, and I always need to keep that saw sharpened, so to speak, is skill moves around the box. So I'm currently focusing, okay, I need to get 5-star skill moves, 5-star skillers up front, and I need to practice that elastico. It needs to become second nature. So my coming 2 weeks is just playing 4-2-3-1 and making sure I can do the elastico properly, can time it properly, know when to do it, know when not to overuse it, and that works perfectly, in my opinion. Because when the new game hits, unless they really change it, but usually they actually don't, that's part of my toolkit, and that gives me an edge. And I see with the people that now run the programs with us, so multiple sessions in a row, they might not get better results right away, because always you need to have time to actually take it into your system. And your position is actually harder than it was in the rest of the year. But I'm 100% certain that this is such a good time to practice that when the new game starts, they'll be not starting to run. They start leaping over their opponents when the new crowd jumps in again.
Yeah. And just the final bit for me, because we've looked at both sides of the coin there, if you think about the bit right down the middle of a coin, and a little bit of the casual and a little bit of the working on yourself side, you can actually now play your way without the pressure of having to play a certain way while picking it up. And you can actually find your own meta at the same time while working on the foundations, but not being so struck on the results. If you lose 3 games in a row, you might think, no, I can't do this. This isn't working. I'm just going to go back to doing this. But ultimately, the results don't matter anymore, so you can work on that and not feel like you're not getting anywhere with it now. So you can find that balance. And if you're playing better players, when it starts to work, you're getting better yourself. Yeah. So it's good to be playing better players. You might not win all of them at the start, but you will eventually start winning them. You'll win 1, lose 1, then you'll start winning 2, losing 1, and it will show. It will show. And ultimately, I think the start of next year, it will show even more.
Yeah, I definitely think so. That's why I think, and we think, the summer is definitely worth keep playing, and maybe don't play the full 50 games you used to in a week, right? If you think you're getting burned out, then please don't. But definitely try to get that 8 wins. Maybe play 10 or 20 games a week, just to get that feeling in and have a purpose on practicing instead of performance, and then the performance will come along with that.
Yeah, it's just keeping your consistency levels up as well, isn't it? Instead of coming back raw and kind of forgetting all the buttons again, and you're just keeping yourself ticking over a little bit while working on yourself. Don't burn yourself out at that either.
For sure. Also, I'm not saying you should not be able to take a break, right? I think breaks are definitely good. But there's a difference between taking a break and throwing the game out of the window and don't touch it again until FIFA 23 hits. Because it's still a long way to go before it's actually here. But why is it a long way to go to actually here? Chiellini! We can just talk about Chiellini because he arrived and I cannot say anything else than giving him a big round of applause. Not only, Ryan, did they listen, gave me Chiellini, gave us Chiellini, but for now I'm just going to be very arrogant to say me. They gave me Chiellini, but it made him cheap as well, and he's good. He's perfect. I have nothing to explain, and he looks great on the picture.
I wouldn't say he's good. I would say he's amazing.
Exactly. Well, give us a good player for 120k or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Defending, the physicality, the pace, the price, the positioning, work rates, mid-high defense, size, strength, picture. He's got. Of course, he doesn't have the Juventus shirts, but hey, that's just how it go. But giving the little kiss hand, it's brilliant.
I mean, I don't know what's happened here. I think somebody pushed the wrong button. But this is incredible value, an incredible player, incredible card. It's got decent links to other great cards. Like, there's nothing wrong with this at all.
I linked in with Quadrado and with Dybala now. Got a little triangle on the right side. I think fixed. I'm done.
Yeah, That's it. Like, this card is endgame. Like, that's it. It's done. You just do this card, whether he fits in your team or not. Just do him. On 0 he's still good.
Yeah, that's also true. I was like, they brought out this thing. I was like, wait a minute. Does it require an 83 and an 84? 83, 84. Wait, one more time. 84, 83. Okay. Maybe I should just. So during dinner, I just quickly did this SBC. I was so afraid that they made a mistake somewhere and they updated the SBC an hour later. Of course, I would done it anyways, but I was like, this feels weird. Packs getting back aren't that bad either. So a big round of applause. 100%. Like, why should you do Chiellini? Why not? Give me one reason why you shouldn't.
I don't hear any.
No, I wouldn't know. There are plenty of links available now as well. Just go to him.
Yeah, it feels like a massive middle finger to Team of the Season. The fact that you got these elite centre backs who are like 500,000 coins, and then they just bring out this Chiellini card who's like, I'm better than you, and I'm also a fifth of the price.
Yeah, although those Team of the Season cards aren't like 500,000 anymore, because I run Marquinhos Team of the Year and I run Van Dijk, Virgil van Dijk Team of the Season. I think they are worth 200k each now. But I was like, you know what? Get those two, get Chiellini next to it. 3 at the back. Feels pretty confident now.
I think
7th game, it's all right.
If you still care about coins, which I don't know why you do at this stage, but if you do, it needs 2 Team of the Weeks for it to be completed. There's an SBC out at the moment. Or Team of the Seasons. I'm sure everybody has that. But if you need informs, There's an SBC out at the minute that's cheaper than buying them off the market. So
very important thing to notice, yeah, because they are still being bought off the market for insane prices. So keep in mind doing that.
I don't know why.
Laziness.
Well,
and honestly, I don't. When it goes to all these upgrades, SBC, like that's the other piece of content we got today, of course. We have about, I don't know, 6 upgrade SBCs today. So I don't even know the exact numbers, right? There's a lot. 85 plus 81 plus 75 times 5, 82 till 88, 71 till 74. My mind just broke. And 60 to 64 times 5 upgrade SBC. And yes, you know what this is good for, Ryan? If you are a player that's dedicated to do this, you can actually just do bronze pack method, get that pack, keep some players in, sell the rest, grind out these league SBCs, go through this whole thing without actually spending too much coins, which is perfect. If I do 2 of those 61 to 64, 60 to 64 upgrades, I'm probably tired and bored. I'll probably quit. So it's not for me, but I do applaud people who can do this. And I do think it's actually a pretty cool feature. They brought in these SBCs to make sure people are able to grind it out if they want to. I'd rather have them extend weekend league so people actually play the game. But this is another way of correcting this course, I think.
Yeah, for sure. It gives a different part of the community what they want.
And that's always good.
Absolutely.
And we got Emilio Butroniego.
He's okay. I don't know if he's as good as Chiellini, but he's okay.
He is very good. It's a lovely card. I love Prime Butra. Always. I used to have him in my team pretty much during the year. Usually get like the Prime. Quite enjoyed him. This one probably needs a hawk on it by the looks of it, but honestly, for 400,000 coins at this stage of the game, you can do better. 3-star skills is a bit off though, right?
Yeah,
especially when you just say I want to practice the Elastico, so it's not going to work anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think there's something wrong with his passing. I can't remember which one it was. He's not that strong, and he's got the 3-star skills.
He's got 65 long passing, but who cares about long passing?
Well, yeah, I mean, overall, there's already 70 better strikers than him. So
yeah, that's the thing, right? And you don't really need them for linking up players. And the thing is, they bring out a Lacazette and then they bring this out, and doesn't make too much sense. They bring out an Anderson for 120, which is, of course, is a winger, but way better card.
I think I remember this time last year they kind of missed the boat on the icons as well. It was just too late. These cards are cool if they came out a little bit earlier.
Yeah, and I think cards like Butra are very cool if the defenders don't have 95 physical all the time, which of course they have currently, right? So this one might get bullied off. I quite like the small players, like for example Netfed, Alexander Del Piero. I really like these cards still. But you do notice that if you're standing next to Virgil van Dijk, you get bullied off the ball if they know how to use those players properly. So a bit risky. I wouldn't spend my coins on it though.
No, you can't dribble around a man whose legs are longer than you.
Fair enough. Although if you would put out the Prime Cannavaro now, please. Prime Moments Cannavaro. I know nobody actually cares except me. So bring him out so we can do that and complete the Juventus squad and we'll be done with it. That would be quite lovely. But don't make it 400,000 coins, please. Please don't. Just saying. But make it like a Pirlo price. That's a decent price. Because the Alexander Del Piero still hurts a bit because I think he's way too expensive for a card that's actually not many people should use now, except if you're a Juventus fan. But hey, Ryan, are you in your seat, mate?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. A green-white seat, actually. I'm not sure everyone likes that one, but let's keep it at that. Ryan, last week we had a proper secret announcement, and we told all the Patreons that already because we thought they could use a little boost over the summer as well, also to keep them from actually stop playing. I think that was a good move as well. So we if you are a Patreon and you are a diehard supporter of the show, this is something you might know already. If you're one of the hundreds of people that actually listen and not our patrons, which is of course definitely fine. We definitely enjoy that you tune in still for us. Then this is a news flash. So we are going to bring it like we've not done this before. And that means we're going to properly announce it on all the socials on Tuesday as well, after this podcast is edited and put out. And, well, there's plenty of things to discuss later on. But, Ryan, get the bad news out of the way first. I think it's time for you to announce officially your retirement as a pro player for Team FUTcoaching now.
Yeah, made it sound really sad though. I guess it is, but it just sounds like really, really sad. So, yeah. So obviously we've had discussions and things, and I think now is the right time to, I guess, thank the team for everything they've done. All the time that they've spent with me as well.
Make it sound even more sadder.
Yeah. But yeah, I will be stepping down as a pro player for FUTcoaching in the immediate effect. I just feel that the role requires a lot more commitment than I am able to provide over the next few months at least. I've just got a lot going on, and I think the coaching sessions, they require a minimum level of commitment that will show the improvements and then maintain that standard over the year, which I think it's been a great season. It's been a really fun season. It's higher than I've ever been before, and it's the most fun I've probably had while doing it as well. So absolutely no regrets. Had a great time. But for now, the pro aspect of it has certainly taken a back seat, and I'll be stepping down from that side.
Yes. The good news is, though, we are keeping you on the company, and not as a pro player, but Ryan, it is actually, I'm not gonna do the announcement myself. It's all yours because you had a great idea where your passion and ambitions would be able to lie over past the summer and over the summer. We had a conversation about it, and well, we said let's actually do this. So Ryan, what is your new role at FUTcoaching going to be? Effective immediately, honestly as well. So you're not going anywhere. You're just getting a new desk, probably. So that's how we should say it. And can you announce what Team FUTcoaching is going to be extending into?
Absolutely, yeah. I've been looking forward to announcing this, and I just firstly want to thank you for allowing me to stick around. You could have just thrown me out the building and locked the door, but you've led me to stay in the office at least. Maybe I've been relocated, but I'm sticking around.
You get now a window view. Don't worry about it.
Oh, brilliant! That's great. Thank you. Yeah. So, without further ado, we have decided that although I won't be doing the pro player side of things, we will be starting up our own pro clubs team with FUTcoaching, support, and under the brand of FUTcoaching as well, which is really cool, really exciting. Might not sound like much just from that, but for those who don't understand or have never heard of pro clubs is a game mode in FIFA where you can control a single virtual pro player, just your own customized player, and you can play with either 2 to 11 players on your own team. So the idea that we have here is that we want to build a team, a community together who can play together whenever they want. They can socialize with a group of people who they may never have socialized with before, or they can socialize with more now. And we think this is an absolutely massive and really cool opportunity to do this with the FUTcoaching team in hand, to also provide their coaching analysis and the tactical know-how that we can demonstrate all the sort of techniques and some of the sessions that we offer, and we can demonstrate it to everyone and give them a little taster of what it's going to be like. And the goal here is to make a team for the social and the fun aspect of it, and watch the team grow together to eventually compete.
Yeah.
Is that good?
It's perfect. I think, so pro clubs, you had to convince me it's actually worth my time and our time. But then we went to the UK, and many schools where we try to work with actually have these teams. But we realized that the guidance there was not as we would run a team, I think. Let's put it like this. We ran our own team, of course, past season. We, like in foot, we managed and coached a whole lot of teams besides our own team. So we take that experience with us. We've got a proper trained video analysts in the team. We've got human relationship experience and management experience, but we don't see that being put to use in pro clubs. So the fact that we can combine our knowledge and our strengths, I think, into a proper team sport, I think that's not something we should underestimate. We are talking about a team which consists now, let's say, it's between 16 and 20 players in total, right? The roster for now, where there's going to be 11 people playing digitally on a field, which have to work together, which have to align together, which means you have to pass the ball instead of taking a shot for your own good, right? And if you fail, everyone feels that. And if you succeed, everyone shares that. And I think those aspects make me long back to being a field trainer again in on-the-pitch football. Like, you know what? This is actually really, really cool. And also to show the world what you can do with such a thing if we put the right team behind that. And let's get that back and going. So foot coaching is indeed putting its name under it, if that can be said like this. We are going to support it. However, Ryan, important role is you are indeed becoming the new director of FIFA Pro Clubs at FUTcoaching. So congratulations on that move.
Thank you,
Brad, and go again.
Yeah, well, I'm currently enjoying my self-proclaimed title there. Yep. I'm going to be the director of Pro Clubs for FUTcoaching. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the first of its kind, completely. You know, there's, as John alluded to, there's schools out there that are doing this well, I mean, there's multiple benefits to it, and, you know, and the schools are doing this for team building exercises and bonding and demonstrating esports as well. And okay, this game mode hasn't been appreciated as much as foot by EA so far, but actually there is a massive community in the background that has built itself, actually. You know, the people who wanted this have made it for other people who wanted this, and it's now a community of over 450,000 players worldwide who are competing in leagues weekly against each other, you know, for money. You know, this is something that doesn't get spoken about much, if at all. So, you know, it's a completely different world from foot, and it's one that we are seriously excited to be stepping up into.
Yeah, for sure. Then my question would be, how can I get on the team? Can I get on the team?
You can get on the team. However, it's going to be difficult.
I'm the owner. I can get on the team. But
well, yeah.
Besides me, let's say the listeners.
You've still got to go through the trial first. Sorry. Yeah, no, everybody can get on the team. But what we should say is that because the Discord were first on the scene to hear about this announcement, the Patreons all received a chance and an opportunity to sign up for this first. So they all registered their interest and they have received priority over this. So we already have a good, strong squad. However, there are a number of spots still remaining to be filled. And this is where the opportunity for everyone comes in, not just the Discord community, because we felt that they deserved that little bit of a priority first and foremost for their commitment to, you know, foot and review, and they're also the best people in the world. They really are. They're all great guys and girls. So, yeah, they deserve that. And if you think you want to be part of that kind of community, you should definitely give it a chance, because it is a really great place to be in the Discord. Enough of that, though. Yeah, so if you're interested in becoming part of this team, and I should say that we have registered for a league as well, starting of mid-July roughly. Where
Just
we
forgot
will
to
be
mention that.
Yeah,
right?
Sorry, that was the biggest part of it, and I actually completely forgot. Yeah, so we have registered for a league and been accepted, and although we have a strong 15-man squad so far, there's still 5 to 10 spaces left for the squad, and we will fully rotate throughout that season. The league is called VPG, if you want to go have a look at it, Virtual Pro Gaming. And the idea is that we will play 8 league games a week through Monday and Thursday against other 11-player teams based around the world, and we will be competing for money and eventually competing for promotion, for championship, for trophies, and so on. So this is really a great opportunity for people who maybe didn't feel like they were ever going to be on a stage or in a competition like this to just jump on and have some fun together and grow together as well, because like we said, this is the first of its kind to have that coaching backing. No other team has this. And there's other teams in this league from real esports teams. So we've got QPR in there, we've got Rotherham, we've got Besiktas, we've got Galatasaray. There's some really big teams with an esport backing, but they don't have the coaching setup that we have. And that certainly makes it a unique opportunity. So if you want to register your interest, we have a quick form to be filled out. So you can either DM me on Twitter to receive that form, or I don't know if you're able to put this in the description, John, the form link?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so if you just look in the description, you should see a link in there to a Google document, and if you could just fill that in, and I'll get back to you on some of the training sessions that we will be holding this week and next, but prior to the season starting. And you may be in competition with other people, but that's the beauty of this. And like I said, if you manage to get on the squad, we will be fully rotating throughout the season, so everyone will get equal game time. Nobody is expected to be there for every single game. We understand people have lives and commitments, and so we will fully try to rotate as much as we can.
Yeah, and I think that's going to. I think it's very important to say this is also what I really like about this. What we at FUTcoaching really like about this is the inclusivity. And I wrote a blog today, and you can find it on FUTcoaching.com, by the way, about this. But I knew because we didn't actually announce it yet, nobody actually paid attention to it before. Where I said, well, one of the big things for me is I used to be like a pro football player, and then I went into coaching, training. Now I'm not on the pitch anymore at all, right? This is as close as I can become, as I can be again, without actually being on the pitch. And of course, my reasons I can't be on the pitch is my physicality currently is not allowing me to do so. So we actually don't really care about your current level. We don't care about we care about your personality and your eagerness to train. If you got those two things, if you got a great character, you're a good guy or female, or however would you describe yourself, we don't care about that at all. We just want to give everyone a shot to experience the full pro clubs, pro treatment. I think that's how we should say it. And of course, if we have 50 people, we got to rotate. Maybe we'll put in an extra team, or we'll see how we do that if it's a major success. So we have to draw a line somewhere, I guess. But don't feel that you're selling yourself short. If you think this could be fun for you, at least sign up for a trial with Ryan. Get on the team. Let the people get to know the crew. There's some of them I think are already established now. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you think this is cool, let Ryan decide if you can be on the squad. Have a chat with Ryan. I think that's the way it should go. I'm in the squad, I said jokingly, just to make sure we have enough players to keep going. That target was already exceeded, well, within 3 days of actual announcing it to the patrons only. So I probably won't be featuring much anyways. But I will, with, of course, the analysis, watch every single match we do. We'll also be making a lot of content about this. I think that's also an important thing to know. Currently, we are unsure if that's going to be a separate podcast or once a month podcast or anyways like that. But what we are going to do is we're going to make our own team of the week. We're going to capture highlights, which we'll be sharing on socials. So if you suddenly score that one winner, you are going to be mentioned and featured on our socials and, of course, on our website. We are very much looking into getting a sponsor going because with it comes, of course, a new seasonal kit. We always have a new kit every season at FUTcoaching. Of course, now we might not have pro players from Foot, and we might need, as Ryan shows on camera, but we might need a little bit more a volume of kits when you actually have a roster of 20 people. So we're looking into getting that part sponsored, but that's definitely on the table. To get that going, you'll get a kit, right? You got to look sharp when you're playing for a team, I think. Stuff like that, that's something we're still working on, but not necessarily to get going. And I think the first trial is actually this Tuesday. So when you're listening to this, that evening is the first trial already. Because the season, like Ryan says, I think this is something really cool. This is not just getting together with friends who play pro clubs. This is getting together, getting in a voice channel together, have a pre-match talk together, talk what you're going to do together, be coached doing it, right? Personal coaching on mentality, on mechanical side of things, but also tactically work as a team together, and actually perform in matches in a real professional pro clubs league where you play other like-minded people, but hopefully we outperform them by the way we want to do this.
Yeah, we will. No worries about that. Yeah, it honestly doesn't matter what you think about your own ability, whether you think you haven't played it before, whether you haven't played it enough. Just stick in an application. We will try and give everybody an opportunity to at least come in and show us a bit about yourself. There's absolutely no harm in doing that. And if you're even remotely interested, just even ask me a question. I'll be happy to answer it. We can go from there. But if you are interested, please check the description. You'll see a form there to fill in quickly. Shouldn't take any longer than a minute. And we'll try and get back to you.
Perfect. I can talk about this all day, and I actually should, and I will, but not all in one podcast, I think. So leave it with there, yeah. I think. If you have any questions, Ryan, where can people find you directly if they want to ask something about pro clubs?
Yeah, I think the best place to find me would be on Twitter at Hampton_foot. But I also have an email of ryan@FUTcoaching.com. So if either of those work for you, then they work for me.
Perfect. Or tweet at FUTcoaching. I'll send it to Ryan or info at FUTcoaching, find the website. But those direct is the easiest because we said, yes, sure, Ryan got director of pro clubs title, but that means he is actually in charge of everything FUTcoaching. So don't go to me, say, I want that place in the club. What do I have to do with it? Because even I have to do trials, he just said. So that's how good we pay him now.
It's that desk view, isn't it? From the window.
Yeah. Get a desk view and suddenly I have to say, sir. But that's all right. Now, so keep those questions going. Let us know what you think about it. If you don't have any knowledge yet about pro clubs, just send in all your questions. We'll get them answered. We might get them answered this Friday. Because Friday, Ryan, I think you'll be featured this Friday, but we do have a special guest this Friday.
Yeah, we certainly do. It won't be me, unfortunately. I'm not the special guest, but
you are. You can't. I can't have you 2 times in a row.
Not as special, but yeah. So one of the biggest signings we have in the pro club so far. I'm sure probably everybody has heard of this guy, and he has done some magnificent things this year on FIFA. He's definitely a huge inspiration to a lot of people as well. So. Yeah, Tolando77 will be on the show on Friday. If you haven't heard of the username, or maybe think you have, but you're not sure who that is, this man made Elite Division with his feet. Yeah, I struggled making it with my hands, and this guy has done it with his feet. This guy is awesome. This guy is really, really cool as well. Just been speaking to him all weekend, so he is a really sound guy, and the best thing about him is that he's a Celtic fan, so me and him are just like immediately best mates. So yeah, this guy is phenomenal, and you should definitely tune in on Friday just for him alone. He's going to be on, it's going to be all about him, and it's going to be worthwhile.
Yes. It's also going to be a little bit about content because we do have interview with us as well, of course. But definitely check him out at Tolando77 on Twitter. You can find him, of course, twitch.tv/Tolando77. And you already teased it, or actually spoiled it, honestly, because he did sign for our pro club. So he's going to be one of our players for the pro club's teams.
I just couldn't keep it quiet, sorry.
I wanted to tease it till Friday, but never mind.
Oh, sorry.
So there you go. You got this exclusive teaser now as well. So welcome to the team, Tolando. James, actually, I'm just going to call him James. I don't like the username, me, I'm all about first names, Ryan.
You can tell him that.
Yeah, I will Friday. So stay tuned for this show Friday. We have made rearrangements with Inta as well, of course. She won the big tournament last week, so she couldn't make it last minute, but she will be on, I think, probably next week or maybe the week after at the latest. And we are getting some proper guests back over the summer because Jason and Kai from Pexwolle or Home of Esports, the pro players from them, EDVC pro players, have agreed on rejoining for another pod really soon. So we get those scheduled. You could almost say we can't even fit them all in with 2 episodes a week, but we'll have to do for now. And, well, while we're at it, I would say we could do another special announcement. But I'm going to leave this for Daniel's return, honestly, because you might get something special really soon. Really foot and review special. But that's Daniel's little idea, so I'm going to leave that to Daniel to actually put it out there. So when Daniel's back from his well-deserved rest, he'll tell you all about it. And I almost couldn't keep my mouth shut about that one. But I managed to do so. So we're going to leave it at that. So check out Friday, Tolando, when James joins. I hope you like the FUTcoaching Pro Clubs news. Ryan, good to have you still in the team, mate. I almost thought I lost you there for a second. Check out FUTcoaching.com for the new blog. Of course, if you want, we are also going to put out new newsletters every single week with, of course, the results, highlights about the pro clubs, things we've been experiencing when we're on the road, to little blogs of vlogs, everything's there as well. So if you want to have that one, just check out FUTcoaching.com, put your email address there, and you'll be receiving that as well. It may be a little bit of a discount code along with it. Just teasing it out there for coaching. So putting it out there. Thank you all for listening. For now, I think this is it. Check out Ryan, of course. Check out the Pro Clubs. And keep motivating. If you are playing FIFA over the summer, or you want to get more out of the game and you're wondering what you could do, then feel free to reach out at FUTcoaching, of course, at Foot Review on all socials. And we might give you a little idea of what you could do over the summer, which might help you improve and be ready for FIFA 23. Ryan, thank you very much. I'm going to give my voice a little bit of rest. But for now, there's just one thing left to do, and that is to simply drop it.
Drop it.
Drop it.
You. You. You.